Well, good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together, putting our makeup on and learning a memory verse. And then you'll have all week to finish memorizing that verse and to have that word hidden in your heart. Speaking of hidden in your heart, our foundation verse for this podcast should be on your screen right now. So much easier to sing verses. So it is, I have hidden your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you. And that's coming from Psalm 119, verse 11. And speaking of that, all of our verses are going to be coming from the Word and Color coloring book. So you can see that QR code on your screen. There's also the link below if you just want to go there directly. This coloring book is going to guide us through our entire first season, and then we'll move on to something else. So the great thing about this is that at the end of season 1, you are going to have this beautiful pictorial display of all these verses that you have memorized through the course of this season. Now, if you're just catching on with us, don't worry about it. Just pick up here and press on. If you're one of those overachiever types, knock yourself out. You could do this if you wanted to. All right, so let's look at our verse that we had for last week. Last week's verse actually comes from one of my favorite songs. I gave you the link to that video on, I think it was Vivo or YouTube, or one of those. Anyways, it is, the Lord is my light and salvation. And then it just kind of stops there. But the song goes on. So super awesome verse that comes from Psalm 27, verse 11. So hope you enjoyed that video. If you have not checked out William Murphy before, take a look at all his music. Very passionate singer. Absolutely love him. So take a look at that. Now, our verse for this week, I can't think of a song that I have for this one yet. So our verse for this week is going to be, every good and perfect gift is from above, and that's James 1:17. And I do remember a song, I want to say it was like late 80s that had this in there. Gonna have to do a little research on that. All right, so let's get that going across the bottom of our screen. There we go. Now, today we are going to be doing a theme. So we've been in Genesis in our sermon series at church, and so that made me think of Noah. I know that's a little bit later, but it made me think of Noah. And so we are going to be doing, our theme today is going to be Noah's Rainbow. So excited to do that. This is kind of modified, so even if you're a little bit conservative, I think you could pull this off too. If you don't want to do all these colors, just do a couple of the colors. So we're going to be looking at a purple, a blue, a green, a yellow, an orange, and a fleshy color. So I'm going to be using 6 colors in total, but if you want to throttle it back just a little bit, you could totally get away with this with 4 colors, which would be a light and then 3 mediums. So you could totally do that. All right, so let's see, we got that going on our screen. So we are ready to jump in already. Okay, so we're going to start with our Urban Decay All-Nighter Primer. And you are just going to use 1 pump of that. And that is going to do your entire face. So we're going to get that between our fingers there. And we're going to start out, for me, the most troubled area is going to be under the eye. It's going to smooth out fine lines and wrinkles. And it is going to help your foundation to adhere better. So if you have combo or early skin like I do, you're pretty much going to want to use this all over. This is going to help you to not have that foundation separation that you might have experienced. And then especially on your lips, if you have any kind of aging on your lips, that's going to help your lip liner and lipstick to stay in place, do their job a little more effectively. And then we're just going to kind of tap that around. All right. Now we are going to move on to our concealer. I am using the Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics. I am the shade 11 Nude. So if you don't have a shade of concealer that you love, come by my store in Midlothian. We will get you a shade match. Now, I will tell you, a little bit of this goes a long way. So we are just going to use like a little tiny ribbon of that. This performs best when you let it warm up to your body temperature before you use it. So we've got it on our finger, letting it warm up a little bit. We are going to dab it on here. Any place that you need to conceal a color. So it could be maybe you've got darkness, maybe you've got acne scarring, maybe you've got a little bit of rosacea kind of going on. Just anything that is not the color you want. It's going to give you a better evenness for your foundation to be able to do its job more easily, more effectively. Alrighty, so we're going to use that. Yes, I don't know about you, but I always have, now I got stuff on it, but I always have a tissue in my lap. So whatever I need to dab off, touch up, touch off, whatever, it's right there for me. I have already dampened my beauty blender. So for the concealer, we're going to be using the pointy end. For the foundation, we're going to be using the round end. So we're just going to use that damp beauty blender. Even out that foundation. I'm so sorry. Get that concealer evened out. Oh my goodness. I did not have coffee this morning. I think that's what's going on. All right. Make sure you look up every once in a while so you can see that verse scrolling across. I think one of my favorite things is using my makeup time as one of two things. Either I have my daily audio Bible app going and I'm listening to my daily audio reading, or I am using the memory verse as a timer of sorts for everything that you do on your face. So we'll kind of do that today. Just kind of giving you some ideas of how you can live with your memory verse, because it's going to make it easier to memorize if you make it part of your life. The other thing is I totally love my watch face. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have all of these memory verses. So every week on Friday, there's going to come out 2 different graphics. One of them is a wallpaper graphic that you can put on your phone. So I have those saved in my phone all together. And then my watch face goes and looks at that particular photo album. So every time I flick over my wrist, it changes the scripture verse I'm looking at, and so I kind of use it like flashcards. So just a super fun and easy way to live with your scripture memory. All right, today we're going to be using the Fenty Beauty Foundation. This is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation, and I am the shade 185. So we're going to just give this a little bit of a shake. The pigments weigh a little bit more than the fluid they're suspended in, so we need to let it get all mixed up. All right, we're just going to use a couple of partial pumps. So right here on the chunky end, we're just going to use a partial pump there. Doesn't really matter what order you do this in, but I always start down the center of the face and then work my way out and around. So you are dabbing, blurring. I don't know if there actually is any sort of perfect way. You know what look you want from your foundation. You dab, blur, or whatever you need for the look that you're trying to achieve. This is just how I do it. And I like to make sure that my nose tip and my chin are evenly covered. All right, we're going to move on with another partial pump. And we're going to get our cheek on this side. I don't really like it in my hair, so let me get that pulled back a little bit. And then we're going to go down below that chin line so that we don't have any harsh lines. All right, another partial pump there. Get that cheek on the other side. Going below that chin line there. All right, last little partial pump there. We're going to be doing our forehead. You can use a salon band or some kind of headband to keep your hair back if you'd like. Just depends on what your preference is. I don't like the wrinkle in my hair after I take a headband off, so I like to just pull it back with my hand. And we're going to make sure that we blend that into the concealer wherever that was that you had. Concealer should be 1 to 2 shades lighter than what your foundation is. So once you get that foundation on there, it totally should cover up and blend in. If you're not finding that it's covering up and blending in, come on in. We will match you with a concealer and see what's going on, why your stuff is not blended in. All right. Now that we have an even surface with which to work, we are going to set our foundation. So I am going to be using the Lancome Long Time No Shine. Things I love about this: milled very fine, so just very nice and light. Has a little bit of oil control to it, so if you've got combo or oily skin like I do, it's totally going to help you with that. So the other thing is it comes with a little puff in it already, so we're just going to get a little bit on there. I like to start out under my eyes first, and we're just tapping that in, pressing that into the foundation that we just put on there. No need to get too tough with it, especially while we're working around the eye area. And we're just gonna set the whole face. I wear glasses, so I'd like to make sure I catch where that nose piece is gonna be. All right, just pressing that into that forehead there. Okay, we are now ready to begin our contouring. So I am going to be starting with the NARS. This is the Laguna 02, which is the original shade of the bronzer that they had. I am using a dual-ended, actually a foundation brush. We're going to use this end for the bronzer, and we're going to use this end for the highlighter. It just gives a nice, allows you to get a little more precise with it. So we're going to start out with the flat end. We're going to get our hair back so we don't get that bronzer in the hair. Little bit of kind of an uplifting shape here. And we're going just above where the concave of that cheekbone is. Same thing on the other side. And if you don't want to do all this, you can skip this part, skip the highlighter part, and move straight to the blush part. So we'll catch up with you in just a second. Now we're going to use the side part here. I like to keep the face straight so that you're actually hitting right under that jawline. And just a little bit. Sculpt out that nose. All right. Now we're going to move to the MAC. This is the Extra Dimension Skin Finish. This is in the shade Double Gleam. And this is just light sparkle to it, but just a nice highlighter from MAC. We're going to be using the fluffy end of the brush right on the top of the cheekbone and alongside of that brow. And we're going to go down the center of the face, making sure we hit in the Cupid's bow. Sorry, just whacked the microphone with my brush there. That's always fun. We're going to switch over to a blush brush, and we're going to use one of my favorite blushes. This is the Juvia's Place. This is the Volume 4, and we today are going to be in the darker one. This is very pigmented, so you don't need a whole lot of it. Literally, tap, tap, you got enough. All right, so we're going to pull our hair back again, going between the bronzer and the highlighter. the tip of the nose, bringing it down just a smidge. All right. And I think now that we've got there, let's just go ahead and review our verse. So you've got the verse scrolling across the bottom of your screen. So let's just say that together. Every good and perfect gift is from above. James 1:17. I'm memorizing these right along with you. Okay, so every good and perfect gift comes from above. James 1:17. All right. We are going to move to our lips now. I am using the NYX. This is the Suede Matte in the shade of Amethyst. Just a nice, pretty purple color. And we are going to line, I'm talking straddling on the outside of that lip. There you go. And today, we're going to be using one of my favorite lipsticks. Looks like that NYX is getting some crunchy stuff. And we are going to line just inside that with just a little bit lighter pressure. All right. Take a little back, look at your liner, make sure it's exactly where you want it, exactly the shape that you want. Once you are happy with it, today I am going to be using Oma. This is the Black Magic in the shade Allure. I know this has nothing to do with the performance of the lipstick, but I just love how these magnet on together. Okay. So again, nothing to do with the performance. This series, the Black Magic, is a beautiful shimmer series. So we're going to be using that one today. See what I'm talking about? That's so lovely. The red one's also super pretty too. On darker pigmented skin, they have this gold one that is just absolutely spectacular. Doesn't look so great on me, but I wish in heaven I have darker skin so I can see what those kind of colors would look on me. All right, so we are going to be using the Culture palette for today. We are going to be living in, let me see if I can get all these for you. So we're going to be using the Katanga, the Bono, the Lejaw, I believe it's the Calabash, this one and that one, and maybe a little bit of that one. All right, we're just going to be like all over the place. That's it. It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow. So we can pretty much use whatever it is we want. So we are going to start out with that lighter color, though, which is the jaw. I'm not sure how to say this name. So we're going to be using an all-over shadow brush. And this is just going to be a fleshy color. Got a little bit of shimmer to it. And we're just going to use it up on the top part so that we have something to blend into. This probably will not show very much at all, but just some kind of fleshy color. You could use a white if you want to. Oh, that reminds me. How about if I actually get the chat going on here? I see a chat bubble. Oh, Nadia, so glad to hear that. I'm not the only one who likes God while doing makeup. Yay! So nice to see some of y'all. Good morning. Send you the lip info. I will be happy to do that. There'll actually be a link to it in my show notes, so make sure to check that out. Sorry, I'm not skilled enough to be typing this out, but I'll be happy to answer your questions on here. All right, so we got a little fleshy color going on. I think mine's a little pink because I had a little residue on my brush, but you know what? We'll survive. It'll be okay. All over shadow brush. This actually is a MAC. I've had it for a minute, so I don't know what the number is, but you can look. It's going to be called a universal shadow or an all over shadow brush. And I usually have 3 of these going at a time. That way you can switch colors seamlessly and you don't have to worry about like dusting things off. Okay, so for now, because what we're doing is kind of like a rainbow, we're going to actually be using the edge of the brush right here. So we're going to take that purple, which for me in the culture too is going to be the Katanga. And you're just going to take that tip of that and get it right there on the tip. So the purple is going to go on the outside edge here. And you're just going to make it look messy. You're going to have some stripy lines. Just let it be. We'll blend it out in just a minute. So trust the process. Just the process. All right. So we're just going to get that out a little bit all the way down to the lash line. And then about halfway between the corner and the brow. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You can be a little bit generous with that shadow. Don't be afraid of it. And those of you who have been with me before on here know you don't have to worry about it because we all have this one brush right here. It's called the Magic Bullet. It's like the magic eraser for your face. All right, so stop goofing around, Wendy. Go with it. Okay. So we've got some nice purple color going on. You can use the same brush that you've got going. Just give it a tap on that tissue that you got. And now we're going to move into Bono, which is a nice blue. And we're going to do that same thing right beside where that is. So you're literally just going to make a stripe right next to it. It doesn't need to be neat, remember? Just trust the process. Let's give you from the lash just about up to the where you just were with that purple. Same thing on the other side. So this should be about to the middle of your lid there. Messy's cool. Messy's cool. All right. I'm actually going to change brushes now because those were kind of intense colors. We're going to switch to a little bit lighter. I know it's like disastrous looking, isn't it? It's okay. It'll be good in the end. Okay, so just grab you another all over. We are going to be using the color Tiv, which is a green. All of these are shimmers. I love shimmers. If you're a matte person, you can do this with mattes too. So we're going to not go all the way to the lash line this time. Just from the middle up to the top. Right about there. Up to there. There you go. And Angie, that's a great question. No, it doesn't usually take me this long to do my makeup. It's because I'm talking while I'm doing this. Now this one would take a little longer than some because you get a little more involved. But usually I get my makeup done in about, well, it depends on the day. Oh my gosh, I woke up late many times. That's about a 15-minute day. I have time. I'm going to play around a little bit. That's usually a 30-minute day. All right, you can go ahead and dust that off. We are going to switch to the lightest color, which for today is going to be the IFE. I think it's IFE. It's kind of a yellow color. So we're going to use the tip again on this one. And we are going to go back to right all the way down to the lash line and then beside that green. Now this one still has a little bit of a green cast to it. So for me, because I wanted to use this palette, we're going to do a little adjustment to this. So if you, like me, wanted this to be a little bit more yellow, but you just are in love with frosts, right on top of that one, we're going to dip into the Nairaland, which is definitely a yellow, but it's a matte. And we're just going to go right over the top of that. That's going to let us keep that shimmer, but give us that yellow that we want. Nice, right? Okay. Noah would be so proud. Okay, we're going to dust that off, and we are going to use our final color in this particular thing that we're doing. And, oh, you know what I just realized? There's not really great orange in here. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to actually extend that IFE over to here. Okay, so now you are fully aware that this is definitely a live video. Here we go. I know, it's crazy. Welcome to the crazy. So just go back, grab that IFE, and just like we used with that yellow, we're gonna grab that orange, which I think I'm gonna use the Gigawa, and we're gonna use that right over the top of it in here. Okay. Now we get the shimmer, but we get the orange. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so now you're asking yourself, how are we going to take these weirdo stripes and make this not look like that? So go back to your original brush that you were using for the all over shadow. It's got a little bit of purple, it's got a little bit of blue on it. And we're just going to kind of go over it like that. You're just brushing before it and brushing after it. If you find that you've got a little bit of maybe a void in your shadow, oh, that was fun. You can grab a little bit more of that particular color and just add it on the top of there to blend those two colors together. And we're going to do that same thing here with that blue. Just grabbing a tiny bit, overlapping it onto that green just a smidge. Then we had used the lighter brush for the green, so we're going to grab that one. We're just going to go over that a little bit. There we go. Over this one, just a little bit. Wipe that off on the tissue. Go back to the yellow, the Nairaland. Get you some color there. Blending over into the green and into the orange. Then grab the Gigawa. And there we go. Now the final thing you need to do to blend this out is, because now we got this like funky liney thing going on up there. Take your brush that we were using for this color here. You're going to tap it just like one time in there and just go over that edge. Tap it once, just go over that edge. And that is going to let those colors blend in together. Now we can't just let the upper lid have all the fun. So take your dusty shadow brush, get rid of that fallout. Let's actually line our eyes, and then we're gonna let the lower part of our eye have some fun. So I am using the Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian eyeliner in the color of Kajal. And we are gonna start out with that about halfway. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this. And then on the bottom, we're going to go about halfway. Right up next to that lash line. We're going to be going over this with shadow, so you don't really need to be too like exact and freaky about it. So just need a little bit down there. All right, we are now going to grab our eyeliner brush. I usually only have one of these and I just kind of clean it off in between. You know, you do you. If you want like 5 of these, knock yourself out. Okay, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to mimic what's on the top on the bottom. So we're going to let the lower lid have a little bit of fun too. Lower lid, upper cheek. I don't know. I have a cat hair that's like tickling my nose, in case you're wondering why I keep touching my nose. Okay, so we're just going to be using the edge of this here. We're going to work the same colors from the outside in. So we're going to start out with that color of Katanga, or I think that was it, right on the edge there. We're going to work it from where the purple is there and bring it down just like that. You can hear my Phoebe is getting upset about somebody out there. I'm sure somebody's taking their dog for a walk or something. And we're just going to extend that purple color that we have right underneath the eye. Now you can get as far down as you want with this. I'm just going to do it a little bit. You do you though. I don't even clean the brush off. Just take what you got, get into that blue, which is the Bono. We're going to add a little bit right over top of where that purple is. There we go. And you're just going to bring that. There we go. Now, next color we had was the green. So that's the Tiv. And that's going to go right here. Like I said, not even cleaning the brush off. And now grab the... actually, let's do the IVE all the way across, and then we'll come back with the other colors. That way we're going to get that glitter color in there. And I like to get it just in the corner a little bit. There you go. Now that we've got the glitter there, we're going to grab the yellow, which is the Nairaland. And that is going to go first. Then you're going to grab the Jigawa. And that's going to blend all the way around that corner there. Oh my gosh. How fun is that? And like I said, you can blend this out as far as you want. Because I have a little bit of aging skin, I'm not going to blend it out too far, because for me, it would accentuate my wrinkles under my eye. But, you know, if you are younger, you've got younger looking skin, knock yourself out, blend it out as far as you want. Especially if you were doing this for like a Halloween costume, man, get it about a ½ an inch out. So fun, so fun. All right, so now we are going to complete our lining because we are going to use false lashes. So we don't want to be able to see any kind of gap that might happen between my natural lash and the lash. We are going to be using the Better Than Sex. Oh my gosh, it has a long name. Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. You can hear the balls kind of jiggling in there. So you're going to let that give a shake. I store these upside down like this in my brush holder. So that the tip is always got the most product in it. All right. You are just going to line that top lid from edge to edge, just a little bit of a fine line. We don't need to get too heavy. We already got a lot going on with those shadow colors. And right as close to that lash line as you possibly can be. There we go. Same thing on the other side. All right. Now I didn't dust off my fallout a minute ago, so let's take care of that. There you go. Anything excessive or whatever, you can use your magic eraser to get rid of that. Haven't had anything excessive happen yet. Thank you. Now, eyebrows. So for your eyebrows, you're going to use whatever eyebrow product you use. My hair happens to be like pink at the moment, so I'm actually using the NYX eye pencil, the jumbo crayon. This is in the color Cupcake. You do you. If you have fashion colored hair, sometimes you have to get a little creative with how you're going to do your brows. So I have enjoyed the Cupcake, and I think I shared this with you last week. This is actually a sharpen pencil. So literally, you're taking this into the sharpener to sharpen it. If you don't have a sharpener you love, this is the Ulta Beauty Collection one. Absolutely love this. It snaps closed, so you don't end up with like stuff everywhere. Stays sharp for a long time. Love that thing. And it's a ridiculously low price point. Okay, so whatever your brow product is, you are just going to work your brow product's magic. If you do not love the shape of your brow, the color of your brow, the whatever your brow, come see my girl Olivia. She is amazing. She can brow map you. She can recommend products for you. She can show you how to use products. She can shape it with a waxing. If you've got unruly hair, like some of those older gentleman pictures that you see, she can do a lamination for you, and that will put those brow hairs in place, and then they're not going anywhere for a very long time. That's a super awesome service. You need a little more hair than I got, though. All right. I got great lips. I did not get good brows. Or at least for the big brows. When the skinny brows start coming back around, man, I gotcha. Okay, get your brow shape going there. If you're going to use a brow setting gel, you will do that now. Give a look back. Make sure you've got them even. Ta-da. Now, we'll see one thing. So I have hooded eyes. Everybody's eyes are different. Mine are hooded though. So when I look forward, I want to make sure that I can see my colors over the fold of my lid there. I can't quite do that. So I am going to extend my colors just a smidge. So we're going to start with looks like the blue one is the first one that needs to come out. So we're going to come out just a little bit. And then I'm going to move to the green, and I'm going to bring that out just a little bit. Switch my brushes to my lighter brushes. Going to go into that ICE first. Get that up there. I have a tendency to stay too low. I don't know. I think I'm maybe afraid of getting too much shadow. I say as I've got a rainbow on my lid. Okay. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to grab that yellow, the Naira Land. We're going to bring that up. There. That's so much better. Bring that up. Then we're going to grab the Jigawa. I think I like saying that word. We're going to bring that up. I know, right? It's a pretty funny word. Okay. Bring that up just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I feel like we've got a little bit better representation of that above the lid. Looks like I need a little evenness over here. There we go. Ta-da! So you just tweak. Do you. Get it to where the rainbow is exactly the way you want it, exactly where you want it. Once you feel like you are done messing around with it. Yeah, I like that. We are going to move on to, and let me actually get any fallout that I may have just now incurred from all of that. And we're going to move to the lashes. So, you know, my favorite is the Juvia's Place, and this one is the Nubian Lash in the Zaria, or however you say that. We are going to be using the Allure. This is the 18-hour lash glue. I love this one. It holds very well. I can feel my Texas allergies though, so let me just dot there. There we go. It's actually not too bad today. So I think our wind is a little bit less. So I'm excited about that. We are going to actually mascara our lashes first. So if you have been gifted with black eyelashes, stop bragging. So yay for you. You probably don't need to do this step. I, however, kind of have clear lashes. See, even when I get close, you can't see them. So I am going to add a little mascara so that my lashes will blend in with the false lashes. So that means that I need to curl my lashes and then add a little mascara. So this is a fun time to get your memory verse in. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to hold our lashes, hold a curler, this is the Tarte Lash Curler. We're going to hold it down just long enough to be able to say that verse twice. And then we've got a perfect curl. And then we're going to move to the other eye, do the same thing. Then we'll put our mascara on. So get your verse ready. Like you can see it out of one corner eye while you're doing this. When you put your lash curler on, you want it to be just to the front of your lid so you are not pinching. If you feel any pinching, you're too close. So we do not want to yank any lashes out. We just want a nice little curl. So give a couple of pre-squeezes, find the right perfect spot. And when you're ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Every good and perfect gift is from above. James 1:17. One more time. Every good and perfect gift is from above. James 1:17. Okay, ta-da! Now go to the other eye. We're going to do the same thing. Couple of pre-squeezes. Find your perfect spot. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Every good and perfect gift is from above. James 1:17. Every good and perfect gift is from above. James 1:17. All right, now you are curled and you are ready to go. So this is the Monsieur Big. This is the waterproof mascara because once I put it on, I don't want to think about it and I do not want it to go anywhere. So I love this one. Great volumizing mascara, nice true black color. All right, and we're just going to give one coat. I just need a little bit of color so that the lashes are not that clear kind of color. I do not know Phoebe is so upset about. Phoebe! And then the lashes on the other side. And then we want to make sure that we're going to add some volume to the top. So we want to make sure that's balanced with the volume on the bottom. So I'm going to mascara my bottom lashes as well. And we're going to give a pretty good coat on there compared to what we did on the top because the top's going to get the false lashes. All right, now to the bottom lashes there. Okay, so see when this happens? Pinch that off. This is where your magic bullet's going to come in. It is literally just going to wipe that away. It does have a slight bit of powder on it, which is how it does its job. All right, so now we are ready for the false lashes. I have seen people put false lashes on a million ways. I'm not going to say there's a right way. I'm not going to say there's a wrong way. Whatever way is easiest for you to do, that's the right way for you. So I'll show you how I do it, and you take that and you run with it. So we are going to be using all of the tools from Velour because I love them and they wear very well. So we're going to take the lash off the little tray. Grabbing it, usually starting at the outside edge and then working it around to get it off the tray. If you need to trim your lashes, I've already wore these before, so I don't need to, but you're going to trim from the outside edge. So literally just set the lash on there and get a feel for, is it too long? And then just kind of work it around. Snip off a little bit at a time until you find the perfect length of what the look you're looking to achieve. So for you, it might be maybe you just want like, a little bit of a 3/4 look. So you only want the lash from about here to the end. Nothing wrong with that. We each have different things that we're trying to look. So do what is the look that you want to do. So I am going to take the lash. I'm going to hold it in the middle. I'm going to grab that Allure glue and we are going to line two things. First, we're going to line the front facing of it. Might need to give a couple in and outs. I think I've had this glue for a little bit of a minute. And we're going to glue the back part of the end. This is just going to help it to adhere a little bit better. give it a nice good amount on there, making sure you're paying special attention to the outside tips. Nothing is worse than a pinch from a lash that is like partially done. All right, and then we're going to take the second lash and we're going to do that same thing here. Again, on the top of the band, and then we're going to turn it just a little bit and catch the back side of that band. I know that this has a little bit wider of a band than some, but I feel like it's a good kind of a liner width. And then also, these just wear really softly and gently. These are seriously, out of all the lashes I have tried, these are my favorites. So very comfortable. I can wear these like literally the 18 hours this thing talks about. I can wear those lashes and I don't have any problems at all. So we're going to say our Bible verse together where we're letting that glue kind of set just a smidge. So our verse for this week is James 1:17. I actually got that part right. Okay, here we go. Every good and perfect gift is from above, James 1:17. All right, so now we're going to grab that first lash. The glue is still very shiny, looking a little bit wet, so I'm just going to give it a couple of waves. Let it dry down just a smidge. And we're going to hold it in the middle. We're going to set it down right next to the lash line in the middle, as close to your lashes as you can, and then let it go. Grab the outside edge, work it to the out. You might start with the inside, you might start with the outside. I don't know that it really matters which way you start. Just whatever works for you. We're going to grab the inside edge. I'm going to set it right down on top of that eyeliner that we just did. Make sure that your lashes are mixing with it. And then I like to grab it a little bit. Make sure that everything is touching. There we go. Then we're going to grab the middle of the next one. And we're going to do that whole thing again, except we're going to take out this little cat hair that seems to be trying to join us today. There we go. So I know you heard Phoebe earlier. I also have 2 cats who, for whatever reason, like to lay on my makeup table. All right, so we're going to set that down right in the middle. There we go. Trying to release it without pulling on it. There we go. Grab the outside edge. In this case, I have to work it over my lashes. There we go. We're going to grab the inside edge. Get that right on that liquid eyeliner. Make sure your lashes are all worked in. And then just set it. Make sure everything is touching. Okay. Now, as I got a little closer, I do see a little fallout there. So because we have brushed fallout quite a bit today, I'm actually going to add just a smidge more of the MAC skin finish. Just want to make sure that we got some highlighter still visible after all of that dusting. So I'm going to take just a little mini highlighter brush. We're just going to go here, go upside of there, here, upside of there. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. Okay. So the last thing that we have to do to our makeup is, well, actually, let's say our Bible verse together one more time. So we've actually finished all of the application. We finished the lashes. We have one more step to go and then it will be done. But let's say that verse together again. So every good and perfect gift is from above, James 1:17. So the last step, we are using our Urban Decay. This is the D-Slick. Depending on what look it is you want, what your skin type is, you could use the original. You could use I think they have one that's got for highlighting or brightening the skin. Then there's another one for hydration. Whichever one of their setting sprays are perfect for you. Another great one is the one from Benefit. That one by far has the farthest mist of any of the ones that I have in my store. So just choose a good setting spray so that once you're done, it's all going to stay in place. So you're going to give it a couple of shakes. And then we're just going to give it a little spray. Tip your head back. All right. And once that dries down, you are now good to go and ready to face the day. So I would like to say thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me this morning. I hope you have enjoyed our tour through Noah's rainbow, and we're going to be working on this verse all week long. If you need help with your foundation, you need help with your brows, you want to choose a perfect lipstick color, you want to talk about the palette that I've used today, whatever the case may be, come see me in my store in Midlothian, and we'll just kind of talk through those things and see how we can help you to have the look that you want be the perfect thing just for you. So before we go, we are going to go through and review our memory verses. So let me get over here and get this going on. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to take a look at a memory verse review from the beginning of episode 1. Can you believe we are on episode 34 today? That is amazing. That means if you've been hanging with me this whole time, you have 34 memory verses under your belt. So congratulations. Great job. So let's go through our review. Say the verse. You're not going to be able to hear me with the way we're doing it today, but say the verses with me as we review through these. If you don't have them memorized, just read the verse on the screen. All right, here we go. Ready? Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that walk through our Bible verses. And again, all of our verses are going to be coming from the Word and Color coloring book. I don't think I showed you the picture for this week. This one's going to be a little bit more complicated than some of them because you got lots of little presents going on there. So I look forward to doing that one, but it's going to take you a little bit of a minute to get that done. All right, so let me get you going out here with a blessing. So, the Lord bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his face toward you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for each one of these beautiful people that has joined me today and the ones that will watch this later on. I just pray that you would bless their life and that you would give them a wonderful week this week as we work on this verse together. Father, I just pray that you would help us to diligently work on these, that we would learn to hide these words in our heart, Father, that we would put on the full armor of God every day by working on these verses, that these verses would become part of our life, that we would use them for ourselves to edify and encourage us, that we would use them for others that we come in contact contact with, Father. I just thank you so much for your word that you have given us that you have given us the Holy Spirit within us so that we can have help retaining these scriptures. Father, just be with this week, I pray. Beauty on the outside is wonderful, but beauty on the inside is what matters the most. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I pray that you have a wonderful week this week. And I will see you throughout the week. Come see me in my store in Midlothian. Goodbye and God bless. Mwah.